Hey, hey, welcome or welcome back. It is as always good to see you today. It is Tuesday here in my little world. And before we get started on this video, a couple of quick updates for you. I will be making a video still about Amberlynn's last video with Jordy talking about Amberlynn's mother and her criminal past. um, I did do a video about this about 6, 7 months ago. I think in September maybe, that I will link up here, based on information that I can find publicly available at that time. So, I have requested court documents from the county clerk in Oklahoma, and I'm still waiting to hear back. I put the request in online. It said wait for up to 10 days to hear back. I don't think it's been 10 days yet. So I am still waiting to hear back, but that video will be forthcoming. And I think the information that Jordy was reading from, I think I found it, and I think it was a little disingenuous about how it listed some of the charges. So I will certainly be covering that, and we will see what I can find if I can get these court documents. So, second one is personal information update as far as videos and content. I will probably be starting some freelance work about the middle of May, which is going to further limit my free time. I'm already way behind on editing. I need to get the Sweden trip information videos done. And let's see, what else was there? Oh, I'll be in Texas at the end of next week, probably, more than likely, for work. So we'll see about that. But all of that being said, hopefully that was quick. We do have a new Amberlynn video. And sorry, she's right over my face. Let me move it a little bit there. There we go. Not that you need to see me, but this one is titled I'm Having a Hard Time. And this was uploaded yesterday. I'm not surprised. Her last video having to do with her mom did seem a little rough on her, and before that, so she took about a week break. Yeah, about a week break. So we'll see what she means by she's having a hard time, whether she means just mentally with her weight, whatever, we'll see. But yes, hopefully soon I will be able to give definitive proof of whether or not her mother did what she was accused of. So, but all that being said, let's get into it. Alright, if you are new here, first of all, welcome. Second of all, I do speed Amberlynn up to 1.25 speed because she does speak a little slowly. So, that being said, let's see what our girl has been up to and what she's having a hard time with.
Hey guys, so welcome to a new video. So I figured since I have been gone for a little bit of time that I would come back with a Q&A just to kind of like check in. And
oh, good lord, she has been asking for questions on her Instagram. So, alright.
I just didn't want to just like throw up a vlog and be like, "Hi guys," and act like I didn't disappear because I did. So let's do the Q&A.
I mean, we're kind of used to it, so you could have.
15 questions, and I had you guys ask me these questions from Instagram, so let's get into it. So the first question is, why haven't you been uploading? I got a lot of like, where are you? We miss you. Why haven't you been filming and uploading? And it's because of everything that happened with my mom. I got extremely triggered, and it was hard. It was hard for my mom, it was hard for me, and it kind of just like made me kind of just go into a shell. And it wasn't even just with YouTube, it's been just in general. And I've just been having kind of like a hard time, and that's just me being honest. So the next question is,
so I will say, like I did say just a second ago, I think the person that uploaded the charges, so just real quick, I found the information that I think Jordy was reading from, and it was a post on Kiwi Farms. So I had my first foray into Kiwi Farms. This was the first time I've ever been on there. But I think the person that listed all of Mama Lynn's charges, I think they were a little disingenuous on this one in particular, how they listed it. And I'll get into that video when I do it. But yeah, I mean, I can understand because people have been bringing this up again since last year, which is why I did that video in September. People were asking her in her live stream about her mom doing this and just constantly. So I did some research into it, and I posted what I found in that video. But um, I could see it taking a toll, and I could now see her mother like not wanting to make an appearance because people are attacking her for something that she may not have done, and because somebody decided to post her criminal record on Kiwi Farms.
How have you been feeling mentally? I feel like that was a good question to have on here. I haven't been doing that great. I have been feeling extremely low and depressed, and it's been kind of like dark. So I had to take a step back, and I told myself that I'm gonna wake up today and I'm going to kind of like fake it till you make it, and I'm gonna just try my hardest to be an adult, film. I had cameos that I did, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Those made me very, very happy. So thank you guys so much for requesting cameos. Like, it means the world to me, truly. And now I want to go.
Oh yeah, maybe I should request that Amberlynn pep talk because I've been feeling burnt out and not wanting to do anything.
Back to like doing things that I love because I have lost all interest in pretty much everything. I have just hit a very low point and I'm trying to just pick myself.
Sorry to stop her again so quickly. This sounds like a possible low in her bipolar disorder because she's not medicated. So I think she's been on that manic, she's been up high, and I think now we might be starting to see the downswing of that.
Back up. Next question is, what's the update on you going back on Ozempic? So I definitely do want to go back on something like that. So there is semaglutide, which I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right, which you can get at med spas, which someone actually contacted me on Instagram and told me about it. Actually, one that's kind of near my city. I am interested in it. It's going to be cheaper than Ozempic. So I am going to call the med spa and I'm going to set up a consultation. So that is something that's going to be in the works. Next question is, do you think you'll...
Wait, you can get this at a med spa? That's interesting. I don't know how her volume is because I'm using my earbuds instead of my headphones. I'm not sure how her volume is, so I apologize. I'll try to fix it in editing. Yeah, there are other semaglutides out there that she could take, but apparently with Ozempic, it could have effects with the gallbladder, which she already has issues with. But I'm kind of surprised that a med spa would have this available. That seems counterintuitive to me, sort of. Maybe I just don't know what med spas do.
In Oklahoma for the foreseeable future. I think for now, I definitely want to stay here. I love everything about Oklahoma besides the weather.
I was getting ready to say there were some very nasty tornadoes that went through there, I believe, day before yesterday, and I believe 4 people were killed. We've been having a lot of tornado scares in my area in Missouri here as well. So if you are in a tornado-prone area with all this nasty weather, please be safe.
There has been a lot of tornadoes lately. I hope everyone is okay. It's definitely scary. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to tornadoes. You guys know that. So it's kind of ironic that I'm living in Tornado Alley.
You moved to Oklahoma.
That's like literally the only thing I hate about it. I don't know how I'm gonna do this summer because that's when it gets real bad. So I am kind of dreading that. But as for everything else, like I love living here. I love being around family and I'm creating a life here and I love that. Next question is,
she does seem to be more social, spending time with her mom, her grandma, and family, so that's great.
Do you think reaction channels should delete their videos where they said false statements about your mom? Because technically that is defamation. That's a hard question. I don't really know.
It is defamation but it would have to be proven that it has injured her mother in some way as far as financially, job-wise. Now, if somebody from her job were to see one of these videos and they're like, oh my god, her mom did this, we're going to fire her, and if it's not true, then they could have a case on their hands. But I do think if it does end up where 100% her mother did not do this, and I'm leaning towards that she did not, then I think the people that have stated that she did in videos, I do think they need to issue a retraction.
Because when I think of that, like I think of myself, like I have said some things in the past that weren't true, even though I thought they were at the time. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and delete them or anything like that. So it's like, do I want to hold the same standards for reaction channels? I mean, in the sense of like the reaction channels that like really truly were like, yeah, Amberlynn's mom did do this. Like, it is defamation. That is technically like the term for it. Do I think they should delete the video? I guess maybe morally it makes sense to do that, especially because they were so wrong. Like, if you guys didn't know, like, this whole thing about my mom has just been really hard, because we knew it wasn't true about my mom doing something to a service animal. And I guess supposedly there was a reaction channel who ended up calling the court place, and it turns out that it was a technical error, a keystroke error. And it's like, me and my mom knew that she would never ever in a million years.
Oh, well, maybe I'll find that out whenever I get the information from them. But I will say that it's still in the court record. It's still listed as one of the titles. Now, I hopefully when I get the court documents, hopefully I'll be able to see for myself.
Something like that. She has made a lot of mistakes. Like, you guys have seen her record. It's just like, how is she supposed to move on from something that she did over a decade ago? Like, she has literally made amends and has taken accountability and has been sober for 9 years. Like, it's not like she made, you know, bad mistakes and then didn't make amends and didn't take accountability and didn't change who she is. Like, I have gotten so many messages from people where they were like, the only type of person who can't forgive your mom is someone who has never either A, suffered with drug addiction, or have known someone who has suffered with drug addiction. And I think that makes sense, because if you don't understand something or you've never been through something, then I can see why you'd be like, whoa, you know, that's not forgivable. And I understand that to an extent, but truly I feel like what matters is that I forgive her, her mom forgives her, her family forgives her, and she forgives herself. And that's exactly what has happened. And I think that's why, like, all of this just like coming up and like strangers, like, you know, this YouTube channel is mine, it's not my mom. So like, so many strangers just like attacking her for stuff that she did while under so many drugs, it's not even funny. It's been hard for her, because it's like, it's not something that like a normal person goes through, you know? They do bad things and they either take accountability or they don't, but usually that's like within their family, within their small little group. But my mom is currently experiencing thousands of strangers just like bashing her for something that she did when she wasn't even truly her true self. And it's just been like really hard for us, I'm not gonna lie. But do I think reaction channels should delete their video? It makes sense if you would, because the information is so not accurate. But like, I also understand if they don't, because it is their job to an extent. So I can definitely see both sides of the situation. So next question.
So yeah, I wanted to let her finish. So that's interesting. I did not know that, but like I said at the beginning of this video, I've requested the court information. Hopefully I'll get that information. I didn't see a number to call, so, but, yeah, if we don't allow people that have had these issues with drug addiction, alcoholism, and all these things, because you really aren't yourself when you're under the influence of those things. You will do whatever you can to get that fixed, to get those things, and it just makes you not who you are. And if we don't allow people with these issues to change and grow and be better, and if we keep bringing up things from their past and holding it over their heads, what incentive do they have to be better and get better and do better? Her mother has obviously done very well the last 9 years to get her life back, make amends with people that she has wronged. This incident with the service animal, that arrest was when she physically assaulted her mother, and that's also brought up in the video that I previously made. And her mother has forgiven her. They've made amends. She has made peace with what happened. And luckily, Amberlynn's mother has gotten over her addiction. She has come out the other side a stronger person. So hopefully people, because it seems that it has been found, I guess it was a keystroke error, who knows, but I'll see. You know, hopefully they can get past this and people will stop bringing it up.
Has your mom changed her opinion about going on your channel? So when I first moved here, my mom was very like, I don't want to be on it yet. Like, she was just like super shy about it, and it was definitely something she was thinking of doing for sure. And then just as of recently, like, she randomly just like showed her face on video, and she's been feeling a little bit more like, oh, maybe we should have like a cooking series on your channel. It's something that we wanted to start. And
that'd be fun to see.
But the minute she showed her face, like, this whole thing happened, and it made her literally tell me, I don't think I want to be on your channel.
Yeah, I will say, and whatever video I do make on this in the future here, but I'll see it here. I do think Jordy really had no reason to bring up Amberlynn's mom's arrest record at that time. I think it was kind of classless of him. I just think it was a really shitty thing for him to do, to be like, "Oh, there's Mama Lynn. Well, let's read through this criminal history. Let's bring up all these horrible things she did years ago." And then one of them not even being true. Um I don't know why Jordy did that, and I haven't watched Jordy's recent video. I've only watched that little bit of the video where he was reading the record because I don't watch Jordy. So I don't know what he has said about this, but I think it was very shitty of him to do that, because why would Amberlynn's mom want to be in her videos now? If anytime you just make an appearance, people are going to dredge up things from your past that you've tried to move on from and tried to get better from, in something that wasn't even true.
And that like hurt me, but like I get it. I don't know if she's gonna change her mind. I really hope that she does, because like who she is as a person now, like that's the person that matters. And she did not go through so much hard work to just constantly be held at the person that she was in her addiction. Because if that's the case, who would ever want to get sober if they're
I just said that myself.
constantly being held to who they were then? Like, what's the point of getting sober and improving and taking accountability and completely changing who you are as a person if that's the only thing that people are going to think about when they think of you? I just don't think it's fair. The next question is,
I agree with Amberlynn on that 100%. And it doesn't make anybody want to make an appearance on her channel, because it's like, oh gosh, if I appear on there, people are going to dig up my past and find that speeding ticket I got 15 years ago, or whatever. It's just not, people want Amberlynn to bring more people on, like, oh, we need more side characters, you're boring. But then her mom makes an appearance and this shit happens. Um, it doesn't give anybody any reason to want to make an appearance.
how does your mom feel about you talking about her past on your channel? So that's something that like I've always been super worried about. So even when I first started my YouTube channel, I asked both my parents, like, how do you feel about me sharing, things about foster care or things that, you guys have done that has affected me? And something they both always have said, which I have always found so like, I just feel very thankful for it, is like, it's your story too, Amberlynn. Like, we put you through these things and our actions have impacted you. So it's not just our story, it's also yours. And I think that's why like I have been okay with sharing certain things about my parents or my past, or like, my mom's record. Like that's not something actually I would have ever brought up. I would have never like brought up my mom's record ever. And the only reason why I did is because of this whole thing that's happened. 95% of the things that I have been through I have never mentioned on my channel, but the 5% that I have mentioned, it very much does involve my parents, and I have gotten permission because they say that it's also my story. And
So I'll say, for Amberlynn bringing up in her past that she was in foster care, people will be like, well, why were you in foster care? So she needs to kind of bring up, I was taken away from my parents because they had drug issues. Um, there are a lot of people on YouTube that have brought up issues in their past involving their parents, like Obese to Beast has mentioned a few things from his childhood involving his mother. Um, so for Amberlynn, just to say, yeah, my mom had drug issues. She was arrested and did some time in this. That's because that's how those things affected Amberlynn, because she was put in foster care, and it affected her childhood and how she sees life and how she interacts with the world. Those things are going to affect you, and that's part of her childhood trauma that she still needs to work through. But yeah, I mean, it's doesn't give people the right to constantly be bringing it up in a negative fashion as far as her mother's record.
I'm just appreciative of that. Next question is, are you and Valentine still together? Yes, yes, we are. Question number 9, do you think your food addiction is
Oh,
exacerbated by social media? And I would say sometimes, but it's mainly because like I am also like kind of an emotional eater. And when things get rough, I turn to food. And that does happen. Next question. What's something weird?
So, what are you doing to help that? You don't have a therapist as far as we know again, so what are you doing to help these issues that you have with food?
You get anxiety about? But like I have a lot of like food anxieties, and I recently just opened up to my friends about that. It's like some of my really bad
You're friends, but not a therapist.
food anxieties. It's like if I have like a double cheeseburger, that's one of them, or like a lot of pasta at once, or pizza. Those are my top three. And by food anxiety, I mean like while I'm eating it, like for some reason my brain is telling me you might have a heart attack while eating this. And I know that's like not true, and that's more than likely not going to happen while I'm eating it. But like I do get those like negative thoughts. Those are my
Wow. That's a very morbid, like, I'm gonna have this double cheeseburger. I might have a heart attack while I'm eating this. Oh my god. I was thinking that she was gonna say something like, "Oh my god, this is so many calories. Am I gonna go over my calories for the day?" That's what I would be thinking because I find myself kind of starting to do that again now. Um, that I'm trying to start losing weight more consistently. So it's I can understand that kind of an anxiety, but the oh my god, I might have a heart attack while eating this, that's a bit much.
top three ones. Sometimes I don't get that at all. But if I am getting that, I usually won't finish my meal. I'll purposely only eat like half of it because in my brain that like makes me feel like, oh, now you have less of a chance of having that heart attack. I know that's like the weirdest thing ever, or for me it feels pretty weird. So that's why that is my answer for this question. Next question is, how does Valentine feel about you posting thirst traps on TikTok? So I have asked her this because I do get this question a lot. People are always like, why do you post, TikToks like this if you're in a relationship? So then it got me thinking, and I was like, is it weird
I think a lot of people in relationships will post things like that on TikTok.
that I post TikToks like this? Like, so then I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask Valentine, like, what does she think of it? And honestly, she said she doesn't mind and that she kind of likes it because she gets to also see them and she thinks I look really good in my TikTok. So it's not something that like bothers her. She's not really insecure and she's super confident in like the way that I feel for her and the way that she feels for me. So I don't think there's an issue with it. But if she was bothered with it, obviously I wouldn't do it anymore. Next question is,
So I'll say in general, if you're comfortable and confident in your relationship, if your partner is posting TikToks like that, it's probably not going to bother you.
does Valentine want to appear in your YouTube videos? She does. It is something we have talked about. And she said that she
Oh, is she local?
is willing to be in my videos, but I think that we're both waiting till we're both ready because I think that's like a really big step. I'm not gonna lie, because I haven't had my partner in videos in a really long time. So it's kind of gonna be like really new territory for me. So I wanna just like wait. Especially like I just am not in the greatest headspace right now, as you guys can tell. So I just want it to be like a really good time when we finally like take that next step, whether it's like her real name or whatever it may be. Question 13.
I will say Twinkie back here is looking cute. Um, I guess Valentine is local, maybe? I mean, we did see bits and pieces of wifey in videos.
Do you feel that No Reaction Channel has come out and apologized to your mom after bashing her for something that she didn't even do? So I think
Like I said, I haven't watched Jordy's video. Um, and I think I was one of the first to actually look into her mother last September. I've seen a couple of things pop up about it recently, but I haven't watched them. Um, and that video has gotten more views recently than I did back in September. But I'm such a small channel that um, people won't notice. But I have gained about 20 subscribers in the last few weeks, so thank you all. Thank you for all the new subscribers.
was one reaction channel who did apologize, and that was Alex Ashok. So I do actually greatly appreciate that because he did it. It makes me emotional. Sorry, it makes me emotional because he did it like the day he found out that it wasn't true. And there are so many other reaction channels that like literally bashed my mom. That's how it felt. That's how it felt to us because it's hard. It's heavy. Um, there are other reaction channels who like spoke on it like the day of, like when they thought it was true, and then they just haven't said anything since. They haven't said anything since finding out that it's not true. And it puts a bad taste in my mouth. And I've always had like a love-hate relationship for Alex Ashok, but like there have been instances. This is not the first one where he has like done the right thing, and I just appreciate him for that, like truly. Like I even told my mom that he apologized, and because my mom knows a little bit about reaction channels, none by name or anything weird like that, she just knows that they exist. And she's also appreciative, and she's also strangely and ironically and weirdly enough appreciative of the person who called the courtroom. And because I feel like the call was made to prove that I was lying, when in fact I wasn't. I was vindicated. My mom was vindicated. But we are both actually, strangely enough, grateful that that call was made. And, you know, mistakes do happen, even in the courtroom. And that's just proof that things like that do happen. It is odd that someone would call, but we are grateful that it did happen. And I think, you know, my mom had to like put me in a different headspace for a minute, because this was just getting hard and heavy. And she was like, you know what, Amberlynn, that person could have not revealed about the error. And I was like, that's true. You know, the person could have called and found out about the error and then just like kept quiet. But the fact that they, you know, I haven't seen, I don't know if it's like a video. I heard that it was like a YouTube channel. I don't even know who it was. I don't know their name or anything like that. So I'm assuming the person made a video and said, you know, it's actually just an error. You know, they could have not done that. So the fact that they did, we are appreciative. So thank you. Next question is there a reason why people think that your girlfriend is fake? So the only thing that I have seen, because I do get messages, is that people think that she's fake because of the timeline, because 2 of my exes are also in like relationships or whatever. And it makes sense. I understand, because I waited like over 2 months to reveal that I even had a girlfriend. Like that's the only thing I can think
Well, she had been hinting at it on Instagram, so
of, because like I have never really been single for that long, so it shouldn't even be surprising that I have a girlfriend at this point. So the last question is, do you have a problem with jealousy? So I'm not really a jealous person. I don't get jealous of other people's money or other people's looks or other people's this or that. What I do get jealous about though is like stuff in relationships. Like when I'm in a relationship, like I am a jealous girlfriend. I don't know if that's like part of like an insecurity of mine, or if that's
probably.
like
Hey,
BPD.
Twinkie.
I don't know what it is, but I do get kind of jealous, pretty jealous.
Probably both.
And I'm actually working really hard on that, and I feel like I have gotten a lot better. The only thing I can do is improve and try not to like show my jealousy too much, if you know what I'm saying. But you know, Valentine actually doesn't mind a little jealousy, so I guess that's a good thing. So that is the end of this video. I know it was kind of heavy for me, so it might be heavy for y'all. I don't really know, but I'm going to try posting some more. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Alright, well, it sounds like my next video might just kind of be in vain. But I have requested those court documents, so I'm still going to make the video if I get the court documents. But yeah, so she's having a rough go of it. And I can understand having everybody attack your mom over something that's not true could take its toll on you. And I'm sure her mom is just like, all these people think this horrible thing about me that just is not true. So yeah, I can understand that. But it does seem to me like she might be hitting one of those down spirals in her bipolar disorder. And I would love to see her get a therapist again. I really would. We'll see if that's coming up in the future. And we'll see if we get to meet her, I guess, new girlfriend. But she has been teasing her for a while on Instagram before we knew about Beck, having this new girlfriend and Destiny getting married. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm hoping to get that information soon so I can save for myself as well. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of the week. And until next time, be safe and take care.